everyone, this is Jessica Hoover. I'm a team leader with Usborne Books and More, and today I want to talk to you about something that I am terrible at, and that thing is time management. Yeah, so I feel like I'm probably the last person that should talk about time management because on most days I manage my time pretty poorly, but I am working on it, and I have a few things that I have done and continue to do that seem to be really helping me make the most of the time that I do have. So I think a lot of you are like me. Many of you have full-time jobs and you do this on the side. A lot of you are like me and you stay at home with your children and you're doing this on the side, in addition to all of the tasks you do to manage your household and manage young children. So I know that a lot of you are in the same boat as I am, but I also know that a lot of you are in a different boat. And like I said, you might work full time or you might have kids that are older. But all I know is that no matter what your life looks like, time management is something that you have to learn. You have to learn what works for you. Right now, my children are small. They're 8 months and 4 years old, and they require a lot of attention from me. And it can make it really hard to work this business well and to do it in a way that doesn't take from my family more than it's giving. And honestly, that's my number one priority, that the financial benefit that this business is to me is great, but it can never take from me more than it gives, because at that point it's not worth it to me. And so that's my priority. And so I always have to keep those things in check and in balance. And I found a couple of ways, actually 3 ways, that seem to really help me do this. The first thing, and like I said, I'm not perfect in any of this, but I am working and I am getting better and I'm seeing the benefits. And so this makes me passionate about helping others to do the same thing. The first thing that I think is really important is placing boundaries. I think it's really easy, particularly these days. Most of us use Facebook to do this business. So much of what we do is online. And so the internet is something that we use as a tool. But it can also be a huge distraction because we have it right at our fingertips, whether it be through our computers or through our phones. And so it's so easy to just pick up our phone and scroll through Facebook or do something on our phone to benefit our business. And that can be great. That can be a really great tool. But for me, it can also be a distraction that I don't need. And so I have to really place boundaries on myself. One of the ways that I do that is by time. And so I have different times throughout the day that I use as my Usborne business time. Most of the time it's during nap time in the afternoons that I work my business. And those other times, like in the morning when I'm spending time with my kids and playing with them or doing different things with them or out on errands or different things, I put my phone somewhere where I'm not tempted to play with it or look at it or do business things. And I've let my team know that if they contact me, they're welcome to send me an email, they're welcome to send me a message, but they shouldn't necessarily expect a response until my office hours. And so my office hours are generally from 1 to 3 in the afternoons. And I try to squeeze in some time in the morning before the kids get up. That's often hard because I have an infant who wakes up at all times of the night, so I may or may not be up depending on how much sleep I got the night before. But if I have time, I put some office hours in the morning before they're up, and then certain nights of the week I do office hours after they've gone to bed. And so that's in addition to the nights that I do parties. And for me, doing Facebook parties works best on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. I try to leave Monday night open, and then of course on the weekends I don't do them because they just don't seem to have as good of attendance. So putting those strict boundaries on when I work, when I do parties, those kind of things really helps me balance the rest of my life. And I think there are a lot of ways that you could apply that. I also think that having a plan is really important. When I sit down to work, I try to have a list of my goals and of the things that I want to accomplish in that time, so that I'm not wasting time, that I'm being efficient, I'm getting what I need to done, so that I don't have to turn the TV on for my daughter to watch a show if I really don't need to, because I've been able to get all my work done during the time that I allotted. Now, sometimes the TV can be a big help, so no faulting anyone who uses a cartoon or two to get some work done. But that's not what I want to be my consistent go-to, and I think making a plan can be really helpful. Making a plan for what you're going to do as business during your office hours, during that time you've allotted to get things done, and then also making a plan for the people in your life. If you have one night a week that you really need to work and you need to have that time, then make a plan, put it into your budget that you're going to have takeout that night or something like that, or put it into your plan that you are going to use a little bit of your business money to pay for a sitter one afternoon a week so that you can get some extra work done so that you can be fully focused when you do have free time outside of your business. Also, one other thing is that if you do have small children around, have a plan for them. It's really easy to just use a go-to like the TV or an iPad. And if that's what you do, no fault in it at all. You all right, little buddy? You're all right. See, I'm using my time right now. My kids are sitting here with me watching Mama work, and that's a good thing too. That they see that you're putting your heart into something that matters, and we know that books matter, and that's why this is a great thing. But make a plan, and that may include having things for your children to do. Hey, we work for a company that makes great activity books and other things, so don't be afraid to utilize some of those things to entertain your children while you get some work done. And the last thing is be resourceful. Use those fringe hours in a way that is life-giving to you. This business is not an emergency. Very rarely are there any book emergencies. And so we can make this business work around our time because we don't have to put out fires most of the time. Now, this past winter and fall, we had some fires we had to put out with people who were maybe not super happy, but that's not the norm. And so generally, we can make those business hours work for us. We don't have to be panicked about anything. And so be resourceful. Use the hours that you have. Like I said, if you've got early morning hours, or if you have late evening hours, or if you have a few hours in the afternoon, make those hours work for you. Set your goals and work to accomplish them. Have a plan each and every day. Set aside a time each week that you can make that plan so that you can put it into action so you don't feel overwhelmed during the week. And I think you'll see really great benefits. I know I do personally. I see my business grow when I have a plan and when I use my time wisely, and I think you will too. So thanks for listening, and I hope that you benefited from learning about how I try to manage my time, and I would love to hear more about how you constructively try to manage your own time. So thanks so much. Bye.